Yeah, absolutely.
What I mean, I'll tell you what I have a problem doing with. And it's not really a problem. I mean, I will at one point when space becomes an issue, but like I have a hard problem selling a het female, especially like a really nice looking. You know, you see those hets that could be visual, but they're not, and you're just like, dude, this is like beyond 100% het. This is this is it, you know. But like, you know, you can't sell it as a visual, meaning you can't put a visual price tag on it. So it's almost nearly. It doesn't make any sense to even sell that. Like, why even sell that het female when in reality, you know, it costs you, I don't know how much to just raise that thing yourself and put that thing over a pile of eggs. You know what I mean? And you know, but then I think at some point you do got to get practical. You just can't hold back every single het, right?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, Gav, if you, you know, I do hold a lot of stuff back. There has to be a balance, doesn't there? I read something the other day. Someone was saying about, Justin was saying a big mistake people make is holding too much stuff back, and I start thinking that's me. And you know, and you end up not getting new stuff in. You know, you should. There's got to be a balance, hasn't there, where you sell stuff and get other projects in and things like that. So
yeah, I mean, I completely agree, and I think the way I look at it is, you know, I've sold stuff I regret. I keep stuff for too long. Like I've just recently sold my last just normal het clown female, but I refused for so long to let her go because I've got some powerful clown males that I can put to her to produce some stuff. But I can produce but that's only for selling value, if that makes sense. It's not going to increase my collection. So then I look at it and I think, okay, well, but from that clutch that I've kind of just sold, I can then take that money and go and buy something else.
Right.
So it's very difficult to look at it because we're keepers, we're hobbyist breeders. You know, like you said, we're not in it for the money, but I love buying snakes. And all I want is my collection to sustain itself. And it does. And that for me is key. As long as it can sustain itself, that's fine. So it's always difficult to find what to keep and what to sell. But for example, I was going to do a pairing this season. I wanted to get the blackhead into the Ultramal project, well, the Ultramal Pied project. And I was thinking a way I could do this. And whichever way I looked at my pairings, I couldn't do it. So I thought, okay, that's fine. So I've got an Ultramal Pied male. And I thought, there was no way I could do it. I've got 2 blackhead females, but they were sort of taken up. And again, space is a commodity. I don't have 10 of blackheads, 10 pieds, 10 clowns, 10 of this, 10 of that. It's kind of a select few. So I saw Justin was selling a blackhead, 100% het Ultramal, posset pied, but with strong, with a ringer.
Yeah.
Real strong pied markers. And Justin was convinced, or is convinced, it'll prove out het pied. So I thought, you know what? Rather than make that, I can buy that. So it kind of goes into what you said, Christian, where you go, you know, you want to make stuff to hold back, but then you've got to know when's the best time to sell and the best time to buy. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult at the moment, you know, because the market's strong here in the UK. I spoke about this earlier on in the year with the Patreon and the Discord members. You know, I said to them, watch the UK market. You know, last year was strong because of COVID. This year we're coming out of Brexit. We're not going to be able to import animals like we used to. You know, Christian, you and me both know we could hop on a ferry, get over to Europe and pick up a snake.
Yeah.
It can't be done anymore. No. So now the UK market is just rocketed to almost to US level.
Absolutely, yeah, it's crazy.
Which is good, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. I mean, but let me ask you this though. Do you feel like with it rocketing, right? Like with that coming in effect, without you being able just to go over to the ferry and bring a snake over, do you feel like at some point that's going to become an issue for the market, or do you feel like that's going to keep the market stronger where it can be?
I've got a good analogy. Christian, do you want to do this?
No, go on. I'll listen.
So the way I look at it is, for example, we've always kind of been on the lower spectrum when we're selling our animals, like the value of what they're worth. So, for example, Aussie would put up an orange dream female for 3K. Breeder female, just an orange dream, breeder female, 3K. And it would go like that. Now, if we put that up over here, it wouldn't sell. You'd struggle to sell a breeder female for 3K, as in orange dream female. But now, you can't get them.
No.
So straight away, if you can't get them, the supply and demand thing is kicking in. There's a lot of demand and not enough supply.
Yeah.
So yeah. I just feel we're kind of coming up to the US level where I feel that the breeder females should be on par, and we're kind of a lot of people would just go to Europe and go, well, do you know what? I can get that cheaper in Europe than I can in the UK. That's fine. But now they can't. So it's kind of helping us here in the UK to sort of level off a little bit and get a bit of our investment back that we've been, time and effort and all that sort of stuff, which, is what it's all about. You want to be able to reinvest in your collection. And we've always been here in the UK kind of at the bottom end of the spectrum for pricing. So it's really interesting at the moment, really interesting. Not saying it's going to stay that way forever, but I think it's going to be, it's about time we had a little bit, back, if you like.
Yeah. I completely agree, Gav, what you said, that you've got that situation where there's supply and demand, but I also see a few more people coming into the market in the UK who are more business minded. They're a bit more like we've probably always said in the UK, it's a hobby. There's lots of hobbyists, and with that hobby mentality, there's always been a limit on what people will pay. Right. Whereas in the States, it's much more of a business. Lots more people have big facilities, and people are happier to invest a lot more, aren't they? But I see people over here. I know some of them are on your Patreon. I chat to some of them, and they're people that come in. They're interested in the snakes. They like the snakes, but they have money, and they see the business side of it as attractive to them as well. So I think that's kind of nice to see as well. That it's catching up with the States on that front as well.
You're 100% right. The one thing we had back in the day was we had a lot of pay-to-play people. So people would invest money who wasn't interested in snakes as such. They just wanted an investment where they could get their money back.
Right.
And what we had was a lot of people who wasn't as passionate, but they had the money. And then you'd have these people who were passionate who couldn't afford to get in because it was just too much money.
Thank you for watching this week's Trap Talk with MJ podcast clip. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. That way you're on top of every single Trap Talk clip that's released here every week. And that way you're on top of every single podcast that comes out every Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday here on the Trap Talk with MJ YouTube channel, where we bring all the hottest up-and-coming reptile keepers and all the most experienced, hottest reptile keepers in the reptile game. We will see you here next week with another Trap Talk clip, and we're out. Cheers.